Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rock, Paper, Scissors. And this is the second half of the project that we've been working on. So, last time, if you remember, we worked on iterations 1 and 2 and got to a place where we feel we're not repeating code more than we need to. And the only issue, though, with this code is that if you want to play again, you have to click run again. And we'd want it to be so that the program will prompt the user to play again if they want to, and the user will put in their answer and will play again depending on what the user chooses. So let's take a look at iteration 3. Everything is inside of a function now, and we call our function down here. So we have our function there, and yeah, and then we call it. So you'll notice that I have a couple peripherals, or not peripherals, that's parameters. That's the word I'm looking for. I have a couple parameters here, and we'll get to that in a second. But all of our code is nice and succinct. There is some repeating of code, and we'll get to that in a minute. But for now, every time we get to the end of a match, we say, do you want to play again? Yes or no. If that is true, if that is yes, I'm just printing empty space here so that we can run the program again without there being any without there being a no gap. So let me show you real quick. So I'm going to copy this over to main real quick. And so we want to save that and then run it. So we have our answer here. We can type rock, paper, or scissors to play. Let's go scissors. Oh, I have an error. Random is not defined. Oops, I forgot to copy over the import random. Okay, let's try that again. Go scissors again. There we go. So you chose scissors and the computer chose rock. So we lost. So let's say we want to play again. We'll select Y, and then we have a gap there. So each time we play, we have some separation, just a little white space there. You'll notice that when we play, we have this thing that says the score, and right now it's computer 1, user 0. So let's say we wanted to play 2 out of 3. So rock up. We had a draw that time. Yes, we want to play again. We'll go paper this time. Draw again. Okay. Yes, we want to play again. Rock. Ah, computer beat us again. So in that case, it would have won. And I'm just going to say no. All right, so to do that, to get to the point where we can get the score, that's where these parameters come in. So when I first run the program down here, or the function down here, when I call it, I'm passing in 0, 0. So let's just follow that up here. So that goes up here, 0, 0. And as we move through, if there's a draw, we don't increase the user score or the computer score at all. We just display it. So we're just going to print the string of whatever those individual scores are. Let's say we win, though. In that case, we want to increase the user score and we want to then display that again. So we're adding 1 to the user score. And then what we do is we call the function again, but we feed the new values back into the program to run again. So in this case, the user score is going to be 1. So that stays as a 1 and goes up here. And this is a 0 still and goes up here. And let's say we lose. Well, we do the same thing, but for the computer. So the computer score goes up, we display it, and then we feed those values into the parameters for the function, and we run it again. And that way, as you can play as many times as you want, and it'll keep a tally of who has won in that particular match. So the thing is, as soon as you exit and then run the program again, that's not going to remember the score, because that value will get set back to 0 because we're running the project for the first time again, or running it from that instance the first time again. So if we wanted to keep those values, so we would know for future reference, we would want to save them to an external file and then save that file. So we'll get into how to do that in a little bit here in the next few lessons or so. Let's take a look here though. When I was putting this together, I noticed I was reusing code here. So this is another candidate for another function. We don't have to repeat our code here. So let's go to iteration 4, and you can see all of that. Every time that we ask, every time that we get to the end of the scenario, in this case draw, we call a new function, and it's this function, play again. And this just has all our data that we had in iteration 3. So all we have to do is call this function each time, which is only 1 line of code instead of 4 lines of code. So we're saving on some space there. And we also want to pass in the user score and computer score because we want to display those. So we just keep passing those parameters around and around and adding to them, and every time the computer or the user wins, and we just keep feeding those in. So every time we do a new game, it just gets added on until we quit the file and start running again. So one more thing that we did in this instance, we created an elif statement at the end if the user typed in close. So I added the thing up here. They can write rock, paper, scissors to play, or press close, or type in close to close. So if they type in close, then we want to quit, and that will kill the program. Otherwise, if they don't do that, it will prompt them again, or it'll say please either enter rock, paper, or scissors, or press close, or play close, or type in close to close. So that's how that works. Let's go ahead and run this version. I want to copy that over to, whoops, I didn't want to close main. Let's get back our sidebar here. Let's open main again. All right. Let's see. There we go. And let's go ahead and let me make sure. Yep, I've got it. Okay. Here, let me clear the console. Okay, so now we should be able to, let's go ahead and type in, let's just type in something random, duck. So now we get it'll prompt us to give one of those answers instead. So let's go rock. And actually, it looks like it closed here. So let's see. Yeah, if we typed in close, then else, and then I forgot to call our function again. Otherwise, it won't work. So in this instance, we're just going to copy this and play it again. There we go. And then let's run it again. Okay, let's type in duck again. Okay, so now it's now we've actually, what I should have done, I'm troubleshooting this live. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead is call the first function, which is rock, paper, scissors. And then we want to pass in our user score and computer score. There we go. Now let's run it. Okay. Okay. And if I wanted to, I could add a print nothing to give us some white space again. But I'm not going to worry about that this time. So this time it prompts us, it takes us back up to the top of the function, and we start again. So that's how that works. Feel free to take any of these ideas and implement them in your own code. You know how your code base works, so I will leave it to you to decide how to best implement any of the changes that you want. So I will leave you to it. Go ahead and copy your code, not your code, the URL to your code, to your replit, and paste that into the Google form in the Google Classroom for this assignment. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.